Welcome to the Island Wealth channel, and this episode we're going to talk about why the family offices, the wealthy people in the world, why they are considering Bitcoin. My name is Rooney Calmera. I'm an economist, private investor. I'm a consultant also helping private investors and also high paid individuals to invest their money. Nothing in this show is financial advice. This is only for educational purposes. So I'm bringing this because I want to create island wealth. If you're living on an island, or if you want to have the island lifestyle, then this show will provide you with all the information to start build wealth, to start creating more wealth, and to maintain your wealth. In this episode, we're going with the Bitcoin model, the Bitcoin 24 model, which has been presented by Michael Saylor, has been created recently, and I have been doing some episodes already. There is a question box over there if you want to just say something, whether you are on LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook on my channels. Please comment, ask any questions, and I will try to answer it. I want to test this setup, so please, if you have any comments, ask the questions, and maybe we bring it to the show. We might put your question right in here and put it in this show. So we want to test that. Now, where can you find more information about the Bitcoin model? I'm going to do this Bitcoin model. I'm going to share it with you. You can just download it. Just look for Bitcoin 24 model, and you will see this Bitcoin model. You will find it. Everything which I'm doing here, this is open source. You can find it and do your own things. We have been already covering macro picture. We have been covering, this is the macro picture. Look for other episodes. We have been covering the individuals. We have covered the corporates, so the businesses, and today we're going to cover institutions. Now, if you want to know what a family's office is and what an institution, how many rich, wealthy institutions are there in the world? You can be a foundation, a university, for instance, having $1 billion US, and you got that $1 billion US, and you are maintaining that because you got it in the past. A wealthy individual gave you that $1 billion, and you cannot put that $1 billion in US dollars because the inflation, the money printing, is about 7% per year. If you don't know that, the inflation is not 2%, 3% like the Central Bureau of Statistics is saying. The inflation is at least 7% because they are printing money at 7% in United States. And Europe is also following, and Japan, etc. are all following this trend. So if you hold your money on a savings account of 3% on a bank that the bank is giving you, then the money will evaporate. Basically, if inflation is between 7% and let's say inflation is between 7 and 15%, the rule of 72 says that in 10 years your 1 billion will be only worth 500 million, because in 10 years, if you take the 72 divided by 7 is 10 years, approximately 11 years, your 1 billion US will only be able to purchase 500 million in goods and services. So your university is basically going to be leaked. The energy, the monetary energy in your 1 billion is going to be leaked away. That's how the rich know that they need to invest in other assets, and Bitcoin is one of the assets that they can invest in. You could be a family office. A family office is an office that manages the assets under management of the wealthy, because the wealthy are invested in maybe equity, real estate, bonds, currency, art, anything. Now let's look at the family offices, because you know that at Island Wealth we're going to give you some information, the information that you need. So I'm not investing this. This is a report. You can look it up. 2024 Global Family Office Report. Let's give the JP Morgan an applause for this. Because this report, JP Morgan is one of the largest banks. This report has not been produced. You have to go you have to Google 2024 Global Family Office Report. This is being produced every year, and you see how wealthy the people are. Now, we will not go through all this report, so I want to credit JP Morgan Private Bank. I'm not going to share the whole report, but let's just briefly walk through this report where you see how wealthy the family offices are. If you have any questions regarding this show, just ask the question, because by asking you will be learning more. Nothing is financial advice, so I'm just going to walk you through this report a little bit to find some information. Now, family offices, they are taking sophisticated approaches to help broaden the opportunity sets in their investment portfolios. Family remain firmly in control of investment decisions. Family beyond the balance sheets, many families are strategically employing their family offices to build stronger family unity, all these kind of things. But let's go to a first sheet. You will see here the section 1 is the general landscape, how many family offices are served. Section 2, the services offered, investment decisions making, etc. So if you want to serve the wealthy, if you want to serve the wealthy, you have to study these kind of reports. Now let me show you this. Key statistics. Global family offices, 190 global family offices, 46 internationally, 144 in the United States. So the most family offices are in the United States. That's the most, I think, wealthy nation in the world. There are 46. I've seen Latin America has a lot of family offices and single family offices. So where are they located? Look at this. Europe, Germany 28%, United Kingdom, Guernsey, even in Guernsey, I think Guernsey is a small island, has 2% of the family offices. Europe 65, Asia 90%, Latin America. I don't see Middle East here, but Middle East should be in here. Also Latin America, Chile, Costa Rica, Argentina, Panama, Uruguay. There are wealthy people. Luxembourg, I know that Luxembourg is one of the wealthiest countries in the world because it has a GDP per capita, an income per capita per head of the population of 160,000 US dollars. We have also been covering that. Now here you see the impact of the family offices. Even in United States, you see here, even in the United States, you see that most of it is in the South, Northeast 32%, Midwest 40%. This is very interesting. Where is the money? What is the assets under supervision? 864 million, so almost 1 billion US dollars under management. And we're going to play with the figure of 1 billion in this session. So stay tuned, because we're not going to only look at this report. We're going to put figures of this report of the typical average family office in the model and see what would happen if they are investing in Bitcoin, and not only in real estate, equity, gold, but if they add BTC to their portfolio. So this is for the family offices. If you are not yet investing, you want to check this out. Check this information out. Now I'm going to page number 20, because page number 20, let me see, households, generations. So if you have a generation, if you are the patriarch or the matriarch, that is the old, you see, the grandpa built a huge corporation, because most of it has true wealth is being gained through corporations. Grandpa now wants to manage his, or grandma, they want to manage their wealth and pass it through the sons or the grandchildren. Okay? You see here in this report, I highly recommend this report of Jamie Morgan, because you will see the information in there, how many generations there are. But we're looking for more information about how much wealth do these people have. And that's on page 20. The family net worth and family office assets under management, 1.4 billion in average. So we can play with a 1 billion. We can also add this 1.4 billion in here to see what on average would happen if they invested in in Bitcoin. And I've been seeing, shout out to Gary Cardone. Gary, you don't know me, but I'm following you. I'm following your channel. Go to Gary Cardone, please, because he's a great guy, and he's a great cat, like how he's saying that. And he talked about the family office, that he visited family offices, and the family offices were not yet investing in Bitcoin. But I know for sure that there are family offices who are interested in Bitcoin. Now, if you want to have this information, if you want to have a presentation, if you want to have anything regarding the Bitcoin 24 model, contact me. I would gladly help your team, your experts, to simulate what would happen if USA, if your assets in the USA might decrease. What would happen if United States cannot pay their debt in the next 10 years? All those simulations, we can run them through United States model, and we are going to invest in that model next year for sure. So we are looking for 50 sponsors who are going to pay an investment, but they will have an experience of 16 weeks where they see the United States model, macroeconomic investment model, being built step by step with all the data. And those 50 people, those 50 investors, founders of this experience, will have more information. And then I want to outsource. I wanna outsource I wanna open source the United States model, because United States is the model is going to be able to simulate the economy of the United States, seeing where the United States is going, how it is impacting the world, because we want to have a simple spreadsheet with all the data United States in there. So that was giving you some information, inside information. If you want to know more, just click on the link at the end of this episode, contact me, etc. on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Contact me. to know more about investing into that experience, building of the United States economic and macroeconomic investment model. Only 50 spots. So look at this average asset under management. I would say the total net worth is 1.4. The asset under management, so that's assets minus liabilities, is 1.4. Assets under management 864 million. That's a lot of money. So we're going for we're going, this is international. You will see in that report all where the money is located, etc. But I want to go to page number, let me see, page number 50. Page number 50. Because there you will see where this money is invested. Public equities, 26%. Alternatives, private equity, 18%. Real estate, 14%. Venture capital, 5%. Hedge funds, 4%. 5%. Private credit, 4%. So there is no gold. Why am I looking at this? Because in the BTC 24 model, you have to have a baseline, basically starting what is the percentage of the money invested. So if you have 1 billion, if we take 1 billion, we could use these percentages to fine-tune the BTC 24, the Bitcoin 24 model of Michael Saylor. You understand? In that model, we want to add these things. Now, if you have your own family office and you want to tweak your specific data in, then we need your data. We need to have some information about your data. So what I see here, I don't see gold, any gold investments, like physical gold investments. I don't see bonds, but I would see, yeah, fixed income. Fixed income is on the other side. Fixed income is 18%. Yes, and real estate, do we have real estate? Yes, 14%. And we have currency, cash. Do we have any cash? Yes, cash is 8%. So basically, we can tune our Bitcoin 24 model and start with this position. Even start with the normie. The normie is where they don't have any Bitcoin investment. We can use the typical family office, and then we can run what would happen if they have a normie, a Bitcoin, a normie strategy, a Bitcoin 10% strategy, a Bitcoin maxi, a Bitcoin, let me see what the other one is, double maxi and triple maxi. So what would happen if the family office has one of those strategies? And if there are other people who are already doing this exercise, I would say give me their comments below, point to them so that we know for sure and that we can learn. Okay, because I want to learn. This is for educational purposes only. I want to learn more. So this is, imagine we have this. This is the starting position. In figure on page 51, you will see this again, international overview. So the first one is the United States. What a typical United States family office would what is their portfolio, and then this is the international numbers. Now we can plug these numbers in. Tell me below, do you want the USA family's office or do you want the typical international? I can just, and remember, for your specific family office we have to plug your numbers in. So I'm going to just do certain things. We're going to take the US family office and then what their percentage is, and we're going to tweak maybe a little bit the Bitcoin model. This is the Bitcoin model. Applause for the Bitcoin model. This is very great that this is open source, because Michael Saylor could have kept this model for himself. As you know, Michael Saylor is he's performing the Bitcoin treasury strategy. That means that he's using MicroStrategy, his public company. He's using it as an experiment, and the experiment has been working quite well, I can tell you, because the stock of MicroStrategy has grown a lot. So apparently the people investing in MicroStrategy, they are seeing the ETF, exchange traded funds, they are seeing MicroStrategy as alternatives for Bitcoin, or as an alternative that they can step in. We small people, we can buy Bitcoin, we can buy $100 in Bitcoin, we can buy $500 in Bitcoin, we can buy $1,000, $10,000, $100,000. You don't have to have $70,000 to buy Bitcoin. I think today we have Bitcoin at about 71,000. Let me go to CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap, because we want to know what the Bitcoin is doing today while we are reporting this, enjoying this Bitcoin 24 series. Look at that, Bitcoin going up to 71,000. You can still buy. You can buy it cheap. It can go to whatever, and we're going to see that in this episode where it can go to. This is not a prediction. This is just assuming certain things happening, and then you would see that. So let me just click here, and then find out that the market cap, how much has it grown? How much has it grown during the last 1 year? You see here? You click on the CoinMarketCap.com, not sponsoring this episode, but I'm using this. You see here, it has this is 1 year picture. It has grown from, let's say, 35,000. Let me look at the January one. The January, 42,000 to 61,000. 71,000. Okay? You will see the 105% on a yearly. So in the Bitcoin model, Bitcoin 24 model, the base case of the growth is 50%. And the bear case going down, bear area, if you are very, very pessimistic, in the BTC Bitcoin 24 model, we assume that Bitcoin grows with 25%. And in the bull case, the horn going up, bull going up, we are optimistic. We assume 75%. But what is this? In 1 year, Bitcoin has grown with 107%. So this is better than even the bull case. You understand? Better than even the bull case. So this, when we are talking with percentages of bear, bull, and base, you should do your own research and find out here what has Bitcoin been doing the last year, the last 2 years, the last 5 years, the last 15 years. And if you want to do these kinds of analysis, taking up this graph, the data, and then analyze it very quickly by checking out what has Bitcoin been doing. Now, how I do it is I use Python programming. I use Python programming to download these kind of charts of Bitcoin. I can download this also for stocks. All the stocks you might see on Yahoo Finance, I can download it. All the stocks you see on Simply Wall Street, that is an app. If you want to know more about that, contact me on LinkedIn. Yahoo Finance. If you want, why do I bring Python in? Because if you want to analyze it yourself, you can do it with Excel, but the fastest way to do your island wealth analysis, the fastest way to do your wealth calculations is with Python. And that is why I have created a program, an experience. It is an 8-week experience that is called Python Island Wealth Management. Python is a programming language, one of the most used programming languages with artificial intelligence. The Python Island Wealth Management experience, creating digital assets, will help you automate your boring life, boring business stuff, and will help you automate your wealth creation. That's basically, it will help you automate your wealth creation. What does that mean? We live in a world of data, of ChatGPT, of large language models. And you cannot be working in Excel spreadsheet anymore. You cannot even be going to ChatGPT and typing in certain things, do this, but you have to have the skill to just write a program that goes here on this website and downloads this data and then presents you with the average growth rate of the last 14 years so that you can monitor it yourself, validate yourself. If you cannot do it, make sure that you join the Python Island Wealth Management, and at the end of this show I will show you. Below this session you will see how you can get into the VIP launch, how you can raise your hand and say, Rooney, I want, as soon as the door opens, or the doors are about to open again, I want to be notified. Because the doors are not open right now, because right now we are working on other projects, other experiences. But in January we're going to do it again. And then if you are seeing this in the future, make sure that still you get on that wait list. And the wait list, I call it wait list, but it's actually a VIP launch, because when you get in, you will be entertained. You will get the story about poverty and story about wealth. You will get extra insights that we are not showing you here. I might just go live with only the people in the VIP launch because they are asking something, and I will go only live to them. I will only go live and share one of the sessions to them. But if you are outside here, you will only see it on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. But when you are inside the VIP launch, you might get the extra goodies. I cannot do everything for free because sometimes the people in the VIP launch, they will get the offers for joining extra experiences where we're going to work step by step. So there are 2 experiences coming up right now. The Python Island Wealth Management. Make sure you join the VIP launch by putting your name and your email in. And we also have the Island Wealth Investment Academy, which is a 3-day experience where we work on your situation. We're turning you, it's the fastest way to turn you into an investor, to build your investment mindset. Okay, 100%, 105% growth. If we take all, so since the inception of Bitcoin, you see here this staggering percentage. This is like, I cannot even put this in numbers. Is this like 1 million, 115 million %? Okay, it's not going to grow right there. It's not going to grow like that. If you take the log, you see that there is a trend upside because Bitcoin's growth is exponential, and when you put it on the log scale, you will see that it's a line. It's a straight line going up when you put it on a log scale because it's exponential, right? Grow. Good. So you've seen in this section, you have seen one, that that we actually have 107% of growth. That's one. 107% growth in 1 year. When you go back to the spreadsheet, you will see that we now have the Bitcoin model. And we have, this model is for an institution. And what I've seen this institution as 1 billion US dollars because it's 1,000 million in assets. And here you see the percentage. You see gold 5%, equity 45%, real estate 30%, bonds 20%, currency 0%. So what we can do here is we can actually change this percentage in what we saw before. We can say public equities, let's say internationally, equities 25%, 26%. So we can say equity, this is 26%. Boom. And then you say 81% because this needs to be 100%. So then we say alternatives, private equity, all this kind of stuff, venture capital. Let's put the big ones first. Fixed income, 20%. So fixed income, let's say that's bonds, that's 20%. Then we say cash is about, now commodities, they also have commodities and they have infrastructure and others, private credit, all kinds of stuff. Okay, so let's say the cash, let's just put some cash in there. We have currency 5%. No, 8%, 8, let's say 9%. So I'm just entering some things to make this match. And we have equity, we have gold. Let's put the gold 10%. Although they don't have 10% there, but this looks more like the portfolio of the average typical family office. You see, you play with the figures because everything in yellow you can change yourself. And this is 1 billion, and we saw it was about 900 million. So we're going to say this is not 1 billion, but we're going to say this is 900 million. So this is the typical family office internationally. Let's just play with that. Okay, what you see is, you will see when you open the Bitcoin model, you will not see all this. You will see like this is a plus. You see, you can, on top here you can put the plus. Why did I do that? Because I wanted to know more about the information behind in the columns. So you can click here, and there are, this plus means that there are more columns here because T to Y, so there are more columns there. Okay, that's the first one. What you see here in yellow is everything you can change. That's how the model works. I have put some blue things in here to just point your attention to them. Let's first start. After you put your own information in here, now you have to pick up the case. What are your expectations regarding the growth of Bitcoin? Are you bearish, the bear going down fast, or are you, let me say here, or are you the strategy? Okay, let me see. Are you bearish or are you bullish? The bearish and the bullish. In this case, you are bearish. Bearish means that the BTC will grow with 25% only. And we just saw that it is right now, the base case is basically that it's growing with 107%. Where do you change this? This bearish, you don't change this in the tab called institution. You change it in the tab called BTC. Because in the tab, what I just clicked here, from institution down here to BTC. You click this and you will choose here the bearish. If you choose here the base, which is 50%, growing with 50%, and then decreasing ultimately steady state to 20%, that's the base case. You can also change these assumptions in your own assumption, but in the Bitcoin 24 model, these are the first assumptions. These are all assumptions. We are not saying that this is going to happen. Remember that this is for educational purposes only. We say, what if Bitcoin continues to grow with 50%? What if Bitcoin grows with 50% and then the growth decreases by 2%, 2.5%, and then after some year it becomes 20%? What if? But you see that actually right now Bitcoin is growing. In 2024 Bitcoin is already growing with 107% year over year. So this is basically the bear case, the base case. You can change it here, and when you change it here, you will see that base. I clicked to the institution. You see that the base case has changed here. And base case means this influences how does this work? This will influence the price of the Bitcoin. You see, this, by choosing the base case, the bear case, or the bull case, you influence row number 20, which is the price of Bitcoin. It is being picked up from the BTC tab. So in the BTC tab, you pick up what your assumptions are regarding the growth of Bitcoin. And in the specific tabs like institution, you set up your personal own information. You can also do this with individual, with corporate, and you have to check other episodes, because I've been doing this for all the individual and the corporate. Watch these please on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on my channel Island Wealth on Facebook. I've activated that channel again because I want to go max. I want to go max on spreading how you can create and generate wealth for individuals, for you, for your family, for corporate. If you have a business, a small business, a big business, a large business, for institutions today, for corporates. And then we are also going for the wealthy nation, United Nations, and indebted nation. Curacao is an indebted nation right now because we have debt. We have debt. Caribbean islands, all the 12 Caribbean islands that I have currently modeled. I have macroeconomic and investment models of all those Caribbean islands, 12 of them, the 8 Eastern Caribbean islands: Curacao, Sint Maarten, Turks and Caicos and Jamaica, and we are building the portfolio because we want ultimately to have 57 the big ocean states in the world, or the small island development states, but I call them the big ocean states, the 57. That is my end goal. And I also want to make an economic model of, it's a spreadsheet model of the United States, China, and Europe. You already know how to work with me. So let's look at this. So that's the indebted, that's the institution. Now, the second thing you want to do after filling in all your information in here is now you choose who you want to be. Who you want to be. Do you want to be a normie? Do you want to be a normie? Do you want to be BTC 10, BTC Maxi, or double Maxi, or triple Maxi? Now I will go a little bit fast in this because I have already explained this a lot. But the normie is actually your portfolio converted to BTC is 0% and you don't have any debt. So normie basically says, I'm not going to do anything. Maybe I have a starting BTC of 0.10 or whatever. I have a 0.05, but I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to convert these assets that I have here in Bitcoin. I'm going to stay like in the case of the family office, I'm going to stay out of Bitcoin, and I want to continue with gold, equity, real estate, bonds. That's it. I am not interested in Bitcoin. I'm not going to convert anything. You see, that's the normie strategy. Portfolio converted. So as a normie, you have the option to say, I'm going to convert part of this whole thing, the gold, equity, real estate, bonds, currency, I'm going to convert it into Bitcoin. Why would you do that? Because you have watched my episode about the macro environment. And in that episode, I'm going deep into what is the trend of all those assets: gold, equity, real estate, bonds, currency. And there is 900 trillion, just checking out here, 900 trillion of assets, right, in this world. 900 trillion here. Look at this. I'm just jumped to the macro, 900 trillion in there. So as an institution, you are investing in gold, equity, real estate, bonds, currency, but you should know that the general thing is that currency is being printed at an enormous 7% per year. So while you are invested in currency, what's happening with the printer of currency? What's happening? While you are invested in bonds, what is happening with the debt to GDP of all those nations in the world? You might be having United States bonds, but did you know that the debt to GDP, so the debt divided by the income, the total income of United States, that it is 120% right now? Now, how is that going to affect the currency that you're getting back? Okay, that's the global macro picture. So that's why you might say, okay, I'm not a normie anymore. I'm not a normie. I want the BTC 10% strategy. So here you will decide. These are options. That's how you need to do it. You need to choose a strategy. And the strategy you choose you don't choose the strategy in the BTC tab. The BTC tabs is just the trend, like bearish, bullish, or not, or base. And even there you can change your numbers. Yes, you can change your numbers in there, because you could be putting the base case is actually 100%, 105%, because that's the case where we are running right now. That's the actual case. You see? But here you choose you pick your strategy. These strategies has been executed by MicroStrategy, by Michael Saylor, and there are other people in the world, other institutions, and other even governments like El Salvador, is putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. You're not the first. MicroStrategy was the first. There are like corporations, like countries mining Bitcoin, like Bhutan. Bhutan is doing something with Bitcoin. Okay? So you're an organization, you're a family office, it doesn't mean that you are the first. Okay? Even there are BlackRock, BTC, all kinds of exchange traded fund that you could be buying. I'm not saying buy Bitcoin, real Bitcoin. You could be buying these assets in, let's say, buying Bitcoin can also mean buying the exchange traded funds. Because as a family office, maybe you cannot invest right away in Bitcoin. Although I recommend you to, for educational purposes, if you're interested, hold your own keys. But maybe an organization, a big, large organization cannot do that. Because how is grandpa of 95 years old going to hold his own keys? Kids, you need to help grandpa for this. Anybody in your family, make sure that they dive into the information. And also the kids, I want to invite you to send your kids to the Python Island Wealth Management training, because I also have one for kids. It's a one-day program, because they need to understand Python, they need to understand artificial intelligence. That's the world you are going to grow in. So now we move to the BTC 10%. So I want you to look at this price. Look at this price. And then also look at the BTC purchased. Because in the BTC purchased, row number 19, row number 18, yes, you have 000 BTC. But because you are now going to do the normie, so keep looking at row 18, how the strategy, by choosing the strategy, you now will see, let me see, you will now see that now we're going to buy BTC. Okay, let me click in here. Click in here, and I want to choose from normie to, okay, I want to choose from normie to actually to become a BTC. It would not let me. So why wouldn't it let me? Normally it would let me. Sometimes there are some things happening. Let me see. Maybe because I'm having, okay, open recovery webhooks. Do you want to continue working where you left? Yes, I want to continue working. Sometimes maybe this sheet is having some issues right now because I have more things. But we can change into, let me see. We can change into what is happening right now. And even if things like this happen, don't worry. Make sure that you file, you save, and then you can open your model again. And when you open your model again, you want to save that, and we want to file, open recent Bitcoin model, enable macros, because there are macros running in there, and maybe the normie will go back. So what's happening is the spreadsheet is holding, but we don't worry about it. Okay, we don't worry about it. Okay, there it's back. So don't panic with the model. Now we go 10%. When you go 10%, you see immediately that the count of BTC is going up. So what is happening here? What is happening here? Because you selected 10%, now the portfolio converted will be 10%. And if you selected BTC Maxi, your portfolio collected will be 50%. If you selected Double Maxi, your portfolio 100%. So what you see here is actually 10% of the portfolio of 900,000 is 90 million, sorry, 900 million, sorry, 10% of 900 million, 90 million is going to be investing in Bitcoin. Then you're going to buy Bitcoin at $65, but actually the price is now 71. Maybe you wanna put 71 in there to make it more actual, and then based on 71, but I don't recommend you change everything. Just stick with a price, because 65 is also a good price. And then although the price today is 71, maybe the next week the price will be 70 again, will be 75, because people will shaky hands will shake and sell their Bitcoin, but other people are just looking at the long-term trend. So you bought 1,385 Bitcoin with your 90 million. Of course, you have to have a strategy to buy it. You cannot buy it in one day, but okay, you got it. And that one will stay there. You see that? It will stay there for the future. So for the corporations, we had a strategy where the earnings or the income is going to grow and is going to be put in. You buy more Bitcoin. But for the organization, you just turn 10% of your actual 900 million assets under management in there, and then that's it. So what do you see here? You see the impact right away. You see the impact of on your assets. So here you see the impact on your assets. So look at for 2025. Now your assets under management has grown from 900 million to 900 million to basically 21.4 billion. You see? Why is that? Because this Bitcoin, in the assumptions on growth, the Bitcoin will grow from 90 million to 18.5 million. You see? 900 million, 21. 18.5 million? No, this is 80.5 thousand. So it's 18.5 billion, right? Bitcoin, if it keeps growing in the base case, which is 50%, it will be a bigger part of your portfolio. And gold these are based on the macro trends on gold. You can also change those macro trends. Is macro. Equity, these are the trends, based on the trends. Real estate. So these projections, these forecasts are based on the assumptions in the macro environment. And you should watch the episode on macro, because these are the drivers of this. Now Bitcoin, the compounded average growth rate, growth over growth is 28%. How did they calculate this? You calculate this by taking the 2045 divided by the 2024, and then you have, because it's exponential, you have to do 121. That's how the formula to the left, you see that, how they calculate that. So imagine a 28.9 compounded average for Bitcoin, while the other assets are about 7%. So basically what this means is that the grandchildren, the grandchildren born today, in 21 years, they will be thankful for grandma and grandfather and also their father, that somebody in the family has taken the initiative to put basically 90 million of the 900 million in Bitcoin. Grandchild, if all the assumptions continue to work out, to play out like we put in this model, then grandchild, let's call her Laura. Laura will be thankful that 21 years ago somebody in the family office decided to diversify into BTC. That's the picture I can tell you. To the right, you see how the assets and the debt are performing here. The net assets, this is the net worth of the family. That's a great picture, don't you think? The assets are moving to 21 billion because first we had about 1 billion in 2024 and then somebody put it and it is 21 billion. Why is Bitcoin different? How is it possible that Bitcoin can potentially grow from 90 million to 18.5 billion? Because we are living in a world of 900 trillion of assets. Look in the macro model, 900 trillion of assets, and they are printing money. There is enormous amount of bond, real estate, etc. Now, I have a magic graph. With a magic graph, you can create a graph of all the main indicators, financial indicators of all the countries in the world. And I've been analyzing this. I've been using this magic graph that I created the last 3 years. And when you analyze all the countries in the world, you see that there is a lot of money being printed. There are interested development in the BRICS. So if there are any family offices in the BRICS, I also want to contact them, and I want to be of assistance of them. Also United States, anything with the magic graphs, we can do that. Of course, you guys have your own internal research, etc. But if I can provide value to your basically wealth creating workflow, your wealth value chain, how you maintain your wealth and create your wealth, please contact me. This is the BTC model. So how can we move from BTC 10% to BTC Maxi? Just doing this and saying, okay, we are now moving the strategy to BTC Maxi. Now when you click here, you will see that there is more than 1,385 Bitcoin being bought. Boom. Why? Because you moved to BTC Maxi. You are now buying 50%, converting 50%. People will tell you why you would do this. But remember, BTC Maxi is just a strategy, and as an organization, as a family office, you now have 6,923 Bitcoins. Remember, there are only 21 million Bitcoins ever. Right now, there are 90 million already in existence, and that is the scarcity of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the scarcest asset in the world. Even gold is not as scarce as Bitcoin. And why is it scarce? Because every 10 minutes you can only produce a certain amount of Bitcoins, and it started with 50, went to 25, went to 12 and a half. Every 4 years the number of Bitcoin mined will half. That's how it is programmed, and nobody can program and can change the code. And it's run, compared to Ethereum and all the other coins, Bitcoin is unchangeable, and it runs on different decentralized computer. There is no family office of Bitcoin. You cannot call the headquarters of Bitcoin. You cannot be calling anybody saying, hey, pull that Bitcoin out. I don't like it. Stop it. Unstoppable wealth transfer. And on Bitcoin level 2, there are Lightning running. So I'm already working with Lightning, decentralized. I'm already working on software with other people, peer-to-peer. I want to shout out to the people of Keat, Hole Punch people, that they are creating Keat.io, and they are creating PeerStack, and they are also decentralizing actually application. Just like Bitcoin and Lightning is decentralized, they are also decentralizing the communication, and Nostr is also decentralizing the communication and social platform. Why am I saying this? Is because the same way we are seeing money being decentralized, now communication is being decentralized, and also publication is being decentralized. WhatsApp is centralized. Nostr is decentralized. WhatsApp and like things like Telegram, like Signal, like Facebook, all these business models where you see the value in equity, this value in equity that you are on your balance sheet, this value, right? I'm talking to you about the main companies like WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram. I don't know if Telegram is public, but all these YouTube, all this equity that you're basing your capital on, there is something happening below the surface, and these are also being disrupted because there is Nostr, and Nostr is decentralized. What will it mean for YouTube? What will it mean? Right now I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn, but what happens if there is a decentralized app based on peer runtime, just an app like Keat.io, which runs on every computer, where you don't need the email to log in. You don't need a name to log in. Imagine that. What will happen? What you will see is you will see your LinkedIn. LinkedIn is bought by Microsoft. You will see your Microsoft stock going down without knowing what is happening. I'm just telling you below the surface what is possible. Right on. So now you go to BTC Maxi, you see that your growth of your total assets has been now 94.4 billion. Laura, the grandchild, is going to be much more happier. Of course, there is risk here. Not everybody can be a BTC Maxi. But now you see that there is a potential. I'm just running it through you. That there is a potential to go further, and now you go double maxi. What's the double maxi? Double maxi is you're going 100%. It's double the maxi. It's double 50%. It's double maxi is 100%. So look at what is happening here. I found this very interesting because with the maxi you have still gold. You have like half invested in Bitcoin. That's basically. So the 50% here will translate into half divided by Bitcoin. You have 900 million. You selected the strategy of 50. You converted before all the other family offices before the pension funds run in, before the other countries, the central banks started collecting and growing Bitcoin, before the game theory starts, before more countries like El Salvador, maybe before Curacao, small islands in the Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean small island nations, the Dominica, the St. Lucia, Grenada, before Turks and Caicos, Jamaica, any other big company, whatever, before one of the companies, the big countries in the BRICS, the 130 countries in the BRICS, if you want to know that, you need to have the Python Island Wealth Management course, because in that course we're going to get like all the countries, and then we're going to create a graph. The next edition, we're going to create a graph of all those 130 countries. And because, how does it work? When I'm doing an analysis myself, I bring it in the next episode of either the Island Wealth Investment Academy, or I bring it into the Python Island Wealth Management experience. While I'm doing my analysis, I'm doing it for myself, for the companies and the individuals and the private investors I'm advising and I'm educating. Nothing is financial advice, but I'm educating them, strategy sessions, etc. When I'm developing something new, I will bring it into my Python Island Wealth Management. I will bring it into my Island Wealth Management, Island Wealth Investment Academy, the next edition. So the editions keep improving, and once you get in one edition, you are in for life. You understand? Once you are in for life. That's how I do it. So if an edition gets improved, you will be improved also. That's how my experiences, my online experiences work. I don't call it courses. I don't call it programs. It is an online transformation that I try to achieve. Transforming your mind. You're coming in and you're leaving as a raving fan, because you now know how to create wealth, either by automating Python, either by upgrading your investment skills of you and your family, either by bringing your kids into Python Island Wealth Management for kids, whatever you are in there. So that's just a sideline. But look at this. So for Maxi, you still are invested in gold, 450 million, half you're invested in all these kind of things. But now when you go double, that means you're going to full Bitcoin. That is a strategic jump. I know it is hard. If you have 900 million, people will say stay diversified or whatever, but this is just if you go all the Maxi. Now, who has gone Maxi, double Maxi? I have to check if Michael Saylor has gone double Maxi or not. But with MicroStrategy, they invested their cash in Bitcoin. I don't think Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy is investing in other things. We can look at that, but I will leave that for other episodes. You can go to Yahoo Finance, check the financials of MicroStrategy. Just type in MicroStrategy, check the financials, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, and the earnings statement, the income statement of MicroStrategy, and you can check whether they have other investments on their balance sheet. But when you go to double Maxi, look at what's going to happen with all this gold, equity, etc. So I'm in there, I'm clicking on double Maxi, boom, all gone. You see? All gone. Because they are now invested 900 million in Bitcoin. 900 million in Bitcoin. They got they got basically, this family office got 13,000, almost 14,000 Bitcoin. So what would this strategy mean? This strategy means that they are buying actually all the new Bitcoin that is there available from the miners. Probably they're buying constantly. With this strategy, they are buying silently. If you are a family office, that means that probably everybody is going in double, and that means 100% guys, we want to get as many Bitcoin as possible. So I just want to say there are 2 million Bitcoin left to be mined. Okay, how do I know that? How do I know that? Because I can go to the blockchain and check that myself. How much gold is there still? How much gold is there on the balance sheet of the central banks? Yesterday, in a previous episode, in the episode where we talked about the corporates, I showed a spreadsheet of, I think it was gold, the gold, I don't know it anymore, but it was a gold website where you can see all the countries that have gold, the central banks. But now nobody knows how much gold there is exactly. We can only assume that. And there is not a single ledger of gold. But with Bitcoin, the blockchain is the ledger. So you can go there yourself. If you want to have any questions, if you have any questions regarding that, maybe I will do a section where we go technically into Bitcoin. And in that, because I want to show you that the ledger is open, that you can verify it. You can run your own small computer, decentralized, in your family office, and that computer is only running the Bitcoin software, the Lightning, the Bitcoin Core. And what does it mean? It means that you can verify the blockchain and you are running the Bitcoin. And basically you are, not basically, what you're doing is you are constructing the blockchain yourself by checking all the transactions. You are running the Bitcoin software, and then you are participating in the Bitcoin. You are not mining, but you are validating everything, and then you have an exact copy of the blockchain right now. Now I'm also running it. You can be running it on a Raspberry Pi. So please give Laura. Laura is the grandchild, born in 21 years. But if you have any Lauras as grandchild, give them a Raspberry Pi. Give them a Raspberry Pi if they are 10 years old. Give them a small computer. Let them program Python and let them run the Bitcoin on the Raspberry Pi. And then they will, what is this? This is a software running. You understand? If they are 15 years, they should also be able to check their transactions themselves. That's where we want to go. So this is the double maxi. Now we go triple maxi, and this means that you're going to do, what is the triple maxi compared to the double maxi? Now we add 10% of debt. So as a family office, I don't know if you can, yeah, of course, probably you can have debt on your balance sheet. Can you do that? Because you have many assets. So you should be able to say, okay, I have some equity here. No, I don't have any equity, but I have other property, and then I want debt. I want to issue debt. Now this is like triple maxi, means you are already 100% in, but now you issue debt. Only certain people can do that. You have to have collateral. You have to have property to do that. Corporations can also do that. Individuals can also probably do that. Now you issue debt. Now what the effect will be, here you see no debt issues. You see, you are triple maxi. You already have total assets. Look at that, 185 billion. These aren't just digits. 900 million to 185. 900 million. You didn't have even 1 billion. You are an average. You are one of the average family offices in the world. We have seen that in the JP Morgan 2024 family office report, and now you turned into, boom, you turned into potentially a 185.5 billion family office. Other people will be struggling. Of course, in 2045, if all this money is created, etc., we will be living in a world with more fiat currency, and you will be having hard currency, scarce currency. The digits will blow your mind. Probably United States will, by this 2045, have a debt 21 years. The debt will be immensely. I don't know what would have happened with the money, with the US dollars or whatever. We are measuring everything in US dollars here. But when I built the United States model, which is the macroeconomic and investment model of the United States, then we will be able to forecast what will happen. It's not a prediction, but it's a forecast based on all kinds of assumptions. And I've been building these macroeconomic models for the last 30 years. Shout out to Dr. Marijn van Schaik, the mentor who is now enjoying his retirement. Also Connie van Schaik, his wife. They taught me how to create macroeconomic models. And by the way, there is a macroeconomic model of Suriname, and we're going to Suriname to the Bitcoin conference, and I might launch an experience especially for Suriname, the people watching all over the world in my play in this episode. We might dive into Suriname. People have been asking me to show the Suriname model and show what the impact is. Now that will be behind a play wall. You can sponsor that event. I will have to launch that. You can sponsor that event with Bitcoin. You can sponsor it also with fiat currency, with dollars. I will be, just click below and then follow these assets. Follow this episode, because soon I will be launching that event, because it's going to take place. Check BTC Suriname. I don't know how it's called. Suriname. Check that out. That's going to be great. Maybe I can check that at the end. But let's continue with this maxi. So now you're going to issue debt. So what you expect here, check this model yourself. Calculate everything, run your own scenarios, but now you will see that debt is going to be issued. 10% of the debt. Now let me just go to the triple maxi, and then boom. Now we have 900 billion of debt, of assets, and we have also debt is drawn. Look at this. So debt is drawn in the second year, in 2025, 100 million of debt is drawn. How is this 100 million calculated? How is it 150 million, calculated? Right? How is it calculated? To do that, you trace precedence, and you see these are all kinds of, let me take it away. This is how it is calculated. So what you say is you have probably the formula. I don't have time to go through the whole formula again, but you see that the assets, that you take 10% of it, which is about 100, and then probably you're doing something like something growing. But you can check the formula yourself that actually you're taking 10%. What you're doing is you're taking 10% of you're taking 10% of this. You see? You're taking 10% of your growth. There is a loan to value there. There is a loan to value, percentage of loan to value. So debt issue per annum, percentage of loan to value. So there is a loan. Yes. You have a value of Bitcoin. It's an assumption that it goes from 900 million to 1.5 billion in 2025. It's growing based on the Bitcoin price going from 65 to 98, and also based on the count of Bitcoins that you have. And now you have a loan to value, so that means that you can loan 150 million, and you're converting basically this loan to value constantly. You're loaning, you're lending. So you're lending here, your lending will increase 10% of your loan, you're lending. How would that work? That would work probably that you have to put your Bitcoin in a deposit with a custodian, and based on that custodian, you risk your Bitcoin because it's in the hand. It's not anymore in the family office, but you put it on a bank, and the Bitcoin bank will give you a loan of 150 million. I don't know if MicroStrategy has done that. We have to study that. If you know that, tell me. But he took debt. Yes, MicroStrategy of Michael Saylor. He took some debt on MicroStrategy, and he did it, I think, in 2021, 2022. It is all documented on the internet, and he bought Bitcoin. So MicroStrategy, he first converted his stocks. He told his stockholders, he told them that he's going to buy Bitcoin. The people got out that didn't want that strategy, and then people who wanted that strategy bought a stock. That's the first take. Then he converted debt. He issued more debt, and then he converted that to Bitcoin. And that has been working because in his stock price, you see that. In the corporation tab here, you see all this impact of the strategy. We have already been covering that. Now, what is the total assets under management? It's going from 900 million to 269 billion. Laura is going to be really happy because Laura is seeing that grandpa and father has converted debt into Bitcoin. So what are you doing there? You are shorting the dollar because you believe that it is paper, and you are taking maximum, and you are saying, let's convert that into Bitcoin. Okay, that's the strategy, and you see also here everything pointing out the BTC, and you're seeing the assets. Having 21,000 Bitcoin. Basically, this family office is highly invested in Bitcoin. This is the scenario. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you like it. This has been a nice episode. Let me see how we are. We are at 1 hour 25. I need to take a break because I think I provided a lot of value. So let me now go to speaking with you. So thank you very much for this. I'm improving my show every day, and I just produced another episode, so I'm happy. I'm very happy. And let me see if I can go to Suriname. BTC. This is Suriname Bitcoin. Yeah, Suriname Bitcoin. Is there an okay, Suriname Bitcoin. I wanted to show the conference. Suriname Bitcoin is the conference. So you have to send that conference. So Suriname decentralized. So I'm going to click here on Suriname the decentralized, because I want to just give some shout out to Suriname. Suriname is a beautiful country. It's not an island. I'm focused on islands, but because my mentor Dr. Marijn van Schaik created a macroeconomic model of Suriname many years ago, that's why I'm interested in Suriname. And Suriname just found oil, and there will be in 8 days there will be this Suriname, and I will be also there. I will not be presented, but I'm thinking this Maya Parbu, you have to follow her because she's potentially the next president of Suriname, and she's very Bitcoin minded. So you see here how a new potential president, young generation of Bitcoiners, how they now want political influence and they want to transform their country, and they're bringing people for only under $50. They're bringing people to Torarica, and Suriname is already invested in Bitcoin. Now, what do I want to say? I want to say to my country, Curacao, that we could also be investing in Bitcoin like Suriname. I want to say to all the Caribbean islands, Grenada, St. Martin, Turks and Caicos, Barbados, Bahamas, we could also be organizing these kinds of decentralized conferences, because the world is going to be decentralized. The world is now centralized, but Caribbean is seen as a region of risk, of investment risk. There are companies de-risking Caribbean. Saxo Bank is de-risking Caribbean. So if you have stocks at Saxo Bank, I think Saxo Bank is in Denmark, then probably you hear, hey guys, you cannot have your stocks anymore, investments. So why do I'm saying this? I'm saying this because to show you in this episode of Family Offices that if you are building wealth in the Caribbean, if there are family offices focused or invested in the Caribbean, that something is happening in the Caribbean, because even Suriname, who has just found a lot of potential oil, maybe Suriname is going to be the richest oil nation in the world. Maybe Curacao is also going to do some business with Suriname, because we have an oil refinery here that needs investments. Maybe we can have in the value chain of oil of Suriname, we can participate. Maybe as an investor, as an officer, a family office, you want to buy into oil in the Caribbean. You want to invest in stocks. You want to invest in real estates in the Caribbean. But this is going to be a great. Now, this is going to be a great show and a great conference with a lot of people there. Look at the stage. Look at people. Look at all these people. that coming to Suriname. Just like El Salvador, Suriname is now having their decentralization moment. Okay, what I want to tell you is that I want you to join my community. I want you to join my community. bit.ly/Island Wealth. You will see an online form. You put your name, your email, and your location. Location is just for you to know, for me to know where you come from. Even if you are not on an island, join that. When you join, you will be in the VIP lounge and you will receive the first invitation, like very, very important person, very important enterprise, very important family office. You receive that information. First, you receive invitation for my online experiences where we train you, where we transform you to creating more wealth for your family and creating more wealth. It's the fastest way to get in. It's the fastest way that you can be invited. Maybe for certain programs, for certain experiences, only the people on the VIP list will be invited, will be getting in, and you will be there and you will be ready when the real experiences start. It could be a strategic experience called Island Wealth Investment Academy of 3 days. It could be the Island Wealth, the Python Island Wealth Management, creating digital assets. It could be Island Wealth Creators. Any experience when they open, you can apply and you can go in, and most of the time only 50 spots out there because people are knocking at the door. And when you are in there, you will hear my story, the story of poverty to wealth. You will feel what it is to go to more wealth. And that was it for today. That was the episode. Let me know what you think, and I'm going to show you the Island Wealth. So next 1 minute before you join, and also join below. So click on bit.ly/Island Wealth. But if there are any links below, do that also. Click there, put your name in there, because specific for every specific experience, I have a specific message to you. So join the Island Wealth community, join us, and then join the other VIP launches also. It is free. It takes you like 1 minute, even 1 minute. So what is 1 minute for your future? I'm not spamming you. I'm only inviting you. Thank you very much, and check this wealth. Check this wealth. How beautiful it is. Okay, this is it.